Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show here from the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar where we're getting ready to try Kentucky Senator Bourbon. My name is Steve Akeley, joined by Darren McCroy. What's up, Darren?
Nothing. What's up with you?
Not much. So this is a brand, Kentucky Senator. Mm-hmm. There is another brand out there called, is it just The Senator? Or,
yeah.
Not to be confused with that. Not to be confused with that. This is something different from that. So,
we definitely were confused when we
first got it. We thought, is it this rebrand? We didn't know, but no, that's two separate things. So this brand focuses on Kentucky senators, whether it's state senators or federal senators, like we know people like Mitch McConnell. Not that he's on this bottle, but people like that we already know nationally, or that are local, people as well. So, but we'll talk about the brand a little bit more after the break. For right now, though, you said there's something you want to talk about. What is that, sir?
So, is there any celebrities that you always, like, whenever you hear their name, you picture them in a certain age and not how they are now? Like, you picture them younger than they are now, like, and you kind of forget that they've grown up as you've grown up.
Right. Yeah. And then sometimes it's shocking when you see them, there's a million of them you can name, Bridget Fonda. When I was, I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan. In the movie Jackie Brown, Bridget Fonda she was awesome in that movie. And then you see her today; she's like a mom, and mom bod, and nothing wrong with that. Hell, what am I going to do? But people change in the age. I hadn't seen her in many years, and it's like she looks probably age appropriate for someone who's the age that she is. And I think I think age appropriate is probably better than the people that get all the plastic surgery. I hate those plastic looking faces. And the only way they can feel normal is they hang out with a lot of other people with plastic faces. I would rather somebody look like Bridget Fonda and be real than to look like some of these celebrities and the shit they do to themselves.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
That is a good one. And people, there's some people that haven't changed in the last, 15 years. They look the exact same. You're like, okay, that's not natural.
Yes.
Either be more stressed out or stop getting plastic surgery.
Yeah. Well, there are some that... And you think, I'm not even talking about celebrities, but you just think of people in your personal life. There are some people that don't age. And here's the ones that kind of can get you sometimes. The ones that age early sometimes. Mm-hmm. My dad had a buddy, Dave Heath. He went gray probably as long as I can remember. So I probably knew Dave from the time he was about 30. He already had a full head of gray hair. To me, as a kid... I'm 15 years old or whatever then, or whatever I was. To me, he looked like an old man. To me, when you have a head of gray hair, there's no difference between a 30-year-old, a 50-year-old, or a 70-year-old. That's all. They're all the same age.
Yep, you're an old man.
You're just an old man. And now I still know Dave today. He plays cards with me from time to time because he used to play with when my dad played, of course, and still play with Dave from time to time. And he's kind of really looks the same, really. For so he aged rapidly till at age 30, but then he kind of holds on to that for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That is wild.
Yeah.
So my example of this celebrity thing is Robert Irwin. So he is Steve Irwin's son.
Okay.
And Steve Irwin's daughter, Bendy, is like my age. So, because after Steve Irwin died, they kind of took over. Bendy had her own show, and it was...
Bendy was kind of old enough where she could be the cute kid that's talking about animals. The Robert was too young. He was just like a baby when his dad passed away.
But Bendy I never had this problem with because I was like the same age as her. And so we'd grow up together.
You grew up together. You feel like Bendy would... If Bendy would come walking in here, you would feel like you kind of know her, right?
Oh, yeah. Probably too much. Like, there'd be a restraining order filed against me afterwards. But
would that have been your ultimate woman, Bendy Irwin?
Oh, she was my crush for the longest time. Like, I can't even tell you how long, Steve.
Bendy Irwin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watched her when she was on Dancing with the Stars and everything.
Oh, yes. Yes, gotta have Bendy.
The joke at the zoo always used to be, I'm going to move to Australia and marry Bendy Irwin. And then she found a model surfboarder and...
She ruined the order of things. She ruined it. Yeah.
But Chandler's awesome too. But I kind of had forgotten about Robert for a while, and then he just popped up the other day.
Okay.
And he is 21 now, jacked out of his mind, like shredded, and he had done an underwear ad, and just like the most jacked out. I'm like, you're not just a kid anymore. You're this jacked guy. And then you see videos of him doing all the stuff his dad did, and it's like. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense. You want a little bit of muscle to wrestle alligators and all of that. But still looks young in the face.
What did Steve Irwin have his own thing, or did he work for City Zoo? Or I know he's affiliated with something, an animal park or zoo or something.
They own the zoo,
so he owned it. Steve owned that,
and now his wife is the predominant owner, and Bendy and Robert will be owning it.
Okay, yeah.
And they're there every day. Like what they do for that zoo is amazing. It is one of the most visited zoos in the world. And,
I think so.
And they are there every day. If someone calls out, they're going to do their job. It's not like most people, because they're doing pretty well.
How old were you when Steve Irwin died? Do you remember? That was a tough one. That was a tough one because Steve Irwin just seemed like a good guy.
Yeah, I loved him.
Right.
I wasn't much older than 9 or 10.
Okay.
So, and I watched his show all the time. I thought he was amazing. I was watching... Bendy's show had started before he died. And so I was watching her show, and he was one of my favorite people.
Yeah. That was a tough one. Yeah. And then, you don't know if he would have lived or not, but he pulled that barb out. That certainly didn't help the situation. He still might have died anyway. Mm-hmm. We got Miromonti. Well, we'll just keep rolling.
Yeah.
Miromonti's like family. Bob, have a seat, but sit here, please. Not back where you usually do. We're recording a podcast. Do you like Steve Irwin? Were you a Steve Irwin guy, Bob? We're talking about him for some reason.
Not extremely, but...
Not extremely. He was infatuated with Bendy Irwin. He was thinking about moving to Australia for a while to stalk her. Gently, of course. Not aggressively, but gently.
And she already owned a zoo, which was something I wanted to do at that age. It was all lining up.
This was meant to be. Yeah.
But it didn't work out that way. Or at least the first marriage. But now they're happy and have a kid.
They seem to be happy. So you're left on the sidelines.
At least for the time being.
You're hoping for...
I won't close that door yet.
You're reading the rag mags, hoping that there's problems in paradise. Or watching TMZ, maybe. I guess that's the equivalent today. You watch TMZ and see how things are going.
Yeah.
So, cool. Bob, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
That's good. That's good. We're getting ready to try Kentucky Senator is what we're going to be trying here. So you'll get to join us for that. So, and why were we talking about the Irwins? Was there a question in there? Or
they were, we were talking about celebrities that you always think at a certain age, and you don't think about them aging.
Bob, is there anybody that you can think of that you saw, I was like, whoa, all of a sudden they got older, they came to age, like his was Robert Irwin, who's Steve Irwin's son, who was, just a young child when his father passed away, and all of a sudden he sees him, he's a full-grown adult. Mine was Bridget Fonda because I liked her in the movie Jackie Brown, and then I see her today and she looks, again, age appropriate for someone who's that age. But I hadn't seen her since, I just figured she looked exactly like she did in Jackie Brown, but she doesn't.
Probably for me, like Johnny Depp.
Johnny
Depp.
Depp.
Again, grew up watching a lot of his movies growing up, and then had seen him recently and thought again, he's like, I say to my wife, man, he's getting old. And she's like, we're all getting old.
He's probably pretty good for as hard of a life I think as he's lived. He's definitely pushed himself. So, all things considered, again, but yeah, he's definitely getting old.
I don't know if I could pick out modern Johnny Depp out of a lineup if I had to. I can't picture him. Unless he's like in a pirate costume. I got that.
I went to the Masters one time and there was a Johnny Depp lookalike. Now, you could tell if you knew Johnny Depp, and I like Johnny Depp, I could tell the guy was a fake. But he played it up. This guy was enjoying the full status of being Johnny Depp because many people were there thought it was Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And if you're at the Masters, part of the Masters thing is you're very polite. You don't really bother people. So no one was going up, bother him, but there was like a group like following him. This guy would walk somewhere, and this whole group was kind of following him and putting their cameras up when he wasn't looking. It was a whole thing. Fake Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's something. Those people thought they had like I got the scoop on this one, Johnny Depp at the Masters, trying to sell it to TMZ, and they're like, what the hell is this?
Did anybody ever tell you look like a celebrity? Darren, is there anybody that people have told you look like?
No, not a celebrity. I get told I look like orangutans a lot.
Orangutan?
Yeah, that's kind of a common
Clyde
one.
the orangutan, then, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Bob, you ever get told you look like a celebrity? Nothing, no. As I look at you, nothing, but you never know. You never know. They used to say I look like the TV weatherman. Now, I've aged out of this. He's still kind of the same, John Fuller. They used to say I look like John Fuller back in the day. Back in the corporate Steve days, pre-beard and all that kind of stuff. Maybe I looked a little like John Fuller. People used to say that. That doesn't help anybody who's listening who doesn't live in St. Louis. He's been on the air forever. I'm talking, this was when I was a kid, probably 14, 15 years old. I met him not that long ago when I was doing a promo at Fox 2 News here locally. Was doing something for the Barrel Shop. I got to go to the studio, and they would just put you in a room and you just sit there by yourself, but it's like the break room, so people are coming in and getting snacks or drinks out of the refrigerator, whatever. And he comes strolling in, and I thought, do I tell him this? Do I not? I didn't. I didn't say anything.
Because he'd look at you and go, what are people on?
Dude, you weigh a deuce and a half more than me. You know? I didn't say anything. It would have been awkward. And I saw Margie Ellisor. I've always liked Margie Ellisor, too. She's a very nice lady. And I got to talk with her quite a bit. She was very nice, too. She was, everyone there was actually pretty nice. They weren't like newsy type. They were just nice people. So that was a good experience.
Well, Stephen, you and I grew up watching Deanne Lane on the news.
Right.
Well, I worked with her for a number of years, and it was that first time I met her. It was kind of a weird interaction.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, that's a weird thing, too, because news is kind of personal. I don't know. You do feel like you know. I watch the same news. I watch Fox 2 in the morning every day, and for about an hour every morning it's on. Now, I'm not necessarily intently watching because it starts repeating, and I kind of, I'm on my computer or whatever.
Have it on in the background.
But it's there. So the people that are on there, you're kind of like, you feel like you kind of know them, even though you don't.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, actually, a good friend of mine is one of the producers for the morning news at Fox 2.
Oh, okay.
And so I've heard stories from her as well.
Okay.
And then you're like, oh, that makes sense now. Like a lot of things check out. It's kind of interesting seeing a little.
Are you going to be dating Callista, the traffic girl? She's about your age, I was going to say. She would be definitely age appropriate. So yeah. So we'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah, hadn't thought of that option yet. That's a good option.
Oh, they used the previous traffic girl. Woo. She was, I forget her name now.
Yeah, she went somewhere, though.
To like Dallas.
She went to a big market.
Yeah, and I think she was from Dallas. Man, she was, wow.
Yeah.
That gal, well, was something else. All right, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be trying this Kentucky Senator Bourbon. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show. All right, on that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with our in-house billionaire here, Ryan Thompson. Ryan, what do you got there, man?
Oh, boy. Well, might as well come out of the gate with a little Leopold's Dickel 3-chamber.
Oh, nice.
Oh, lovely one tonight here. Sunday evening, might as well.
Okay.
Audible.
By the way, Brian, that was your best cork pop ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Usually we don't hear anything from you. That was decent.
We need to quite silent. Amazing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That could win this thing. Ryan has the lead.
Wow, that's something. This is something.
Yeah. All right, Tim, you're next.
All right, I'm going to go with a Boxing Bear as well. This is Boxing Bear. So it's the reading chair. I think it's number 2.
Yeah, I think that's number 2. Yeah, because
it's number 2.
Yeah.
Channeling the legend as well on here with my FALS wristband. Slide on the set.
Wow. Tim, did you go yet? Is that
listen to Ryan.
Right?
Fucking Trent. He has his first ever audible cork pop.
There was nothing on my side as well. So, Ryan,
yes. So what was better, Ryan's cork pop or his trash talk on his first ever audible cork pop? This is Steve Akeley, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily on the ABV Network. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Steve, Darren, and Bob. Here we are at the ABV Barrel Shop. We're getting ready to try Kentucky Senator. What do we know about this, Darren, before we get into the tasting?
My phone wasn't doing a good job loading, so we don't have all the information I would try and find. But this is their 6th release, so this is the John Edwards release, who was the second U.S. Senator sworn in Kentucky for the state, for the National Senate.
Normally, senators aren't elected at the same time, but when you're a new state, they both get elected at the same time. But then they do have an order. So this one, he was considered the second one.
Yes.
So yes.
This is a 107 proof, 7.5-year-old bourbon. They are a source brand. They do not appear to disclose anything about where they source from.
Okay.
But it is Kentucky straight, so it has to be distilled and aged in Kentucky. So that probably eliminates several people.
It eliminates, a lot, really. So
yeah.
In reality, there's probably very few options.
At 7.5-year-old, you're not in Bardstown and Green River territory yet.
No.
So I would say a safe guess would be 1792.
Right. That's what I would say too. But again, we don't know. There's no inside baseball there, as they say. We're just taking a guess here. All right. Let's give this thing a taste. See what we think here, boys.
Nice classic bourbon.
Yeah, I mean it's pleasant. Tastes kind of like a little peanut brittle. I would say on there for sure. A little fruity too. 107 is a nice proof, so that's nice. A little spice to it as well. Bob, what are you thinking as you taste this?
Yeah, just your average, really decent bourbon.
Yeah. It's a sipper. It's something you can build a cocktail with, whatever you like. I'd say it's pretty flexible here. So 7.5-year-old product, 107 proof. It's nice. So yeah. I think they are doing a good job. Packaging looks good. I like the little bio on the back, so you learn about the senator. That's pretty cool. And that seems to be pretty good.
And I think it's also really cool that they're doing this with state senators as well.
Yeah.
That's somebody that doesn't usually get as much cool things after them, and it gives them a lot more options.
Right. Yeah, you would start to limit yourself on the number of releases you could do if you only
because somebody like McConnell, I think he's been that seat for several years.
Yeah.
So you really don't have as much turnover there, but in the state you have a lot more people that you can do stuff with, and
then you can focus to start picking out people that did things to help the bourbon industry. That's probably a good focus that they would do. So yeah, it's good. Cool idea, and good luck to them out there. I mean, that's a cool thing. So I think release number 6. That's cool. I don't know what their distribution's like. I can't say I've seen it in Missouri. So
yeah, I'm sure it's definitely all over the state of Kentucky though.
Right.
So when you're going there to visit the Bourbon Trail, I'm sure
you're going to hit a liquor store.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this show, you're going to be in a liquor store.
At least one.
Check out Kentucky Senator. So there you go. All right, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Bob, where can people find you if they want to follow your journey? I know I do. I'm going to write this down.
You can find me on Facebook as Eddie Dingle, or on Instagram as Browntown STL.
Okay, that's exactly what I would have thought. All right, how about you, Darren?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's going to be abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, just like Bob here. He comes strolling in. He wasn't like, I'm going to get on a podcast today. It looks like he's got a bottle in his hand, something for us to try. Probably wants to try some of our new stuff. And that's what we do, though. You never know. If you come in at the right time, cool things like this happen. Also, you want to get involved in the show, give us a 5-star review, because that really helps us out, because then new people find the show. If you leave those comments in there, that's going to be a good thing for us. And last but not least, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network and learn more about what we have going on that platform. That's going to do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.